The famous Google API leak was 1 year and 4 days ago. If you don't remember what happened, Dan Petrovic, a very famous SEO, I've shared his stories on the show before. I got to get him on this podcast. Dan Petrovic, he discovered that Google had sitting out in the open 2,500 pages detailing more than 14,000 ranking attributes. He was in contact with Google and he was like, hey, you guys should take a look at this. And Google was like, nah, it's cool. And then they realized it wasn't cool, it wasn't fine, but by the time that Google realized this, it was too late. Somebody else discovered the leak, sent it to Rand Fishkin. Rand Fishkin blew it up on social media, and then tons of other SEOs scoured it and blew it up even further. And it became one of the hottest topics in digital marketing and tech at the time. This was last May 2024. It was the biggest leak of all time for Google. And so many things that Google said they weren't monitoring or didn't affect rankings, turned out, one, they were monitoring them, and two, it did affect rankings. Now, we didn't get the weights for the attributes, but the fact that Google was paying attention to all of this stuff, is paying attention to all of this stuff that they said they were not paying attention to. It had a lot of SEOs enraged, whereas other SEOs were like, this seemed obvious from the way that Google behaved, from the way that Google's algorithm behaved. Regardless, it shared a ton about the way Google's algorithm actually worked. Not what Google was saying in their documentation or what their representatives were saying, but how the algorithm actually functioned. So these were the 3 biggest things discovered last year and how you should have been using them. And if you haven't been using this knowledge, how you still can. The 3 biggest things discovered from the May 2024 Google API leak. Let's go. Number 1, Google said clicks don't affect rankings, but there's a whole system called Navboost that uses Chrome click data from Google Chrome to change search results. Basically, pages and posts that get clicked on in Google, they do better than pages and posts that don't get clicked, or the ones who get clicked the most. That's a huge ranking signal. We don't have the weights, but you can tell from the years as well. There's been so many tests on this. Rand Fishkin, he came on this show on episode 674 of this podcast, Rand Fishkin on SEO, AI overviews, and the future of content marketing. And he did a lot of tests on this, and he found that the more a result in Google is clicked, the better it performs. The closer it gets to ranking number 1 or ranks number 1 and stays there. So you want people to click on your result in Google. So this means you as an SEO or a digital marketer, you should be putting a lot of thought into your page titles and URL slugs, because those are the things that you can really control what people are seeing in Google search, the page title and the URL slug. Sometimes Google will use their own page titles, but a lot of the time they're going to use the page titles that you put. And the page titles are the big things that appear in Google for your page or post. My strategy, this is what I do. I would completely recommend this. Take your target keyword, put it at the beginning of your page title, as well as in the URL slug. That's going to signify a lot of relevance to people who are searching for this keyword, and it is your target keyword, so it is what is important to you. But then, and this is the thing that that very few other people do, very few other people know about, then what you do is you give a short reason after the keyword, you give a short reason for why searchers should click on your result. So you might say things like use free, 100% organic, 100% completion rate, or you could literally put the goal that people are trying to achieve. So if it's a personal injury lawyer, your page title might be like personal injury lawyer NYC. And then you use the vertical dividing line. I really like those vertical dividing lines. They're very professional. That's actually how I was taught when I was doing SEO for the biggest companies in the world. Procter & Gamble, ADP, Nintendo, Microsoft, all of these. That's how we were doing page titles. We were using these vertical dividing lines. So you do, if it's a personal injury lawyer, you want to say the goal that people are trying to achieve. Your target keyword is personal injury lawyer NYC. Then you do the vertical dividing line. Then you say something like get compensation now. And then you do the vertical dividing line again. And then you say brand name. And get compensation now, that's the goal that people are trying to achieve. And so what are you more likely to click on? Are you more likely to click on the generic result that doesn't offer any extra information, or are you more likely to click on the result that targets your keyword and then also says, hey, this page is literally what you are trying to achieve? You're going to click on that. That's what you want. Oh, perfect. It understands me. If you're a SaaS company, B2B SaaS, and your keyword is something like free business chat software, you would do free business chat software, vertical dividing line, simplified team chat, and then vertical dividing line brand name. Somebody who is searching free business chat software, they might also be looking for a simple team chat. And so the goal that they are trying to achieve, simplify a team chat. If you Google To The Web's page title testing tool, and the link for this will also be in the description for this episode, you can see how your page titles will appear in Google and what is getting cut off. Because if you have a page title that's too long, it will get cut off. What I recommend is don't worry about the brand name getting cut off. That's okay. But you want to try to avoid, you definitely want to avoid your keyword getting cut off. And then you also want to try to avoid the reason that somebody's going to click on the link, the extra benefit that they are getting, or how you're advertising what they're trying to achieve. You want to try to avoid that getting cut off as well. It's okay, again, if the brand name gets cut off. And you can use To The Web's page title testing tool, free, no sign up. You just put your page title in there and see how your page title appears in Google and if it's too long or not. The second thing that was revealed in the Google leak, and this is actually somewhat related to the first thing, is Google monitors if searchers are going to a page, they're staying on that page or post or that site for a long time, or if it's a short time and they're returning to the search results. This is called Pogo sticking. When a searcher goes into a result, says, this isn't for me, goes back to the search results, goes into another one, says the same thing, goes back and forth trying to find the answer that they're looking for. You don't want searchers to click into your results, into your page or post, say, this isn't for me, and then bounce and go back to the search results. You don't want searchers to pogo stick. And it was revealed that Google monitors this stuff. It has long clicks and short clicks, and it looks at all of this stuff. So I talked about this yesterday on yesterday's episode of the show, episode 695 of this podcast, the one SEO fix everyone should make right now. A way to get people to stay on your result, a way to get searchers to stay on your result when they click into it, give them what they want right away. Give them their answer or whatever they're looking for before they even have to start scrolling. If they're looking for a product or a service, have a button to get in touch or a button to go and buy the product or use the product. If it's informational content, give them that information right there above the fold before they start scrolling. Then use the rest of your page or post to go deeper into the topic so that visitors, if they want to go deeper, they don't need to return to Google. They can just scroll down your page and then go deeper to find out more information. So by having a page or post entirely focused on this one thing, you satisfy searchers completely. They don't need to return to Google. That's a very positive ranking signal. And the third thing, this might surprise a lot of people. Google uses engagement to judge the value of backlinks. So you could have a backlink on a page on a very high authority site. But if nobody is engaging with that page, if nobody is engaging with that content, that backlink isn't going to matter very much. The backlink will carry very little weight. This is why I always say doing real marketing is better than generic link building. When you do real marketing, you want to be in places people are going to see you and engage with you. That's the goal of doing real marketing. You want actual visitors who are interested in your site, in your stuff. And when your website appears in these places, aka a backlink, and these places that you are hoping will actually bring interested people to your brand, when your site appears in these places, it passes a lot more link juice, SEO link juice, than if your site appeared in a place where nobody was going to it. I have a fourth thing on this episode. The bonus is just in general, a lot from this Google API leak last year. A lot of long-held SEO theories were validated, ones that Google really denied. And so if you've been in the game for a while, the last lesson that I have for you on this episode of the podcast, if you've been in the game for a while, the last lesson is to trust your instincts. And if you haven't been in the game for a while and you're trying to learn, including learning what actually gets your brand recommended by AI. A lot of people are trying to learn that now. If you're trying to learn, I have a 13.5-hour course on what actually gets results with SEO. SEO to actually get customers, users, leads, not generic strategies. Also tactics that get your brand recommended by AI overviews, by ChatGPT, by Claude, by Gemini, by all of these. Works for every niche. It's literally about getting customers with SEO, not vanity metrics, not vanity impressions or vanity clicks, actual customers, paying customers with SEO. Or if users are what you're trying to get, users or leads, people who are going to call you and say, hey, I want to hire you. Whatever it is, people are searching with the intent to purchase or use or talk to somebody. And Compact Keywords, compactkeywords.com, my 13-hour SEO course is about how to target these people who are looking to take action now. It is the real SEO, the SEO that gets results. And that is all for this episode of the show. This is episode 696 of my daily digital marketing show. 696 days in a row doing this podcast. Thank you so much for watching. If you watch this on YouTube, if you listened on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.